It looks like the Chiefs could look completely unrecognizable by the end of the 2025 season. A team defined by their explosive offense, but with key players moving on, and a legend like Travis Kelce nearing the end of his career, the Chiefs' identity is on the brink of a major shift. Today, I'm breaking down why that's happening, plus some unexpected moves that could shake things up even more in the near future. Moves we can't rule out just yet. Let's dive in. What's up, buddies? Welcome back. If you are new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We cover all AFC West news here on this channel. First, we've got some notable departures to cover. Justin Reid, a former Chiefs safety, just signed a 3-year deal with the New Orleans Saints. He told Kay Adams on her show that he was texting with defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo and DB coach Dave Merritt, holding out hope for a Kansas City return. But the Chiefs' salary cap priorities leaned elsewhere, letting him walk. To me, that screams confidence in Jaden Hicks, their 4th-round pick from last year, arguably the best safety in that draft class. Then there's Juan Thornhill, another safety, who signed a 1-year deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers after the Browns cut him loose. He could have been a veteran fit for KSE, but that ship sailed. At receiver, Justin Watson's off to the Texans on a 1-year deal, and Mecole Hardman's joining the Green Bay Packers. Honestly, a bit of a head-scratcher since I figured they'd chase a true number 1. Not a returner like Hardman. If the Chiefs trade for him again by the deadline, I might lose it. This likely locks Nico Remigio as the 2025 returner after his strong finish last year, fumbles aside. And then there's Willie Gay Jr., a linebacker fans wanted back after his 1-year stint with the Saints. He hinted at it on social media, but today, he signed with the Miami Dolphins to join Tyreek Hill. The linebacker room's now a question mark. Leo Canals in his last rookie year. Drew Tranquill's got a contract out after 2025. And Nick Bolton's the only sure thing long-term. Now, I have another news from Adam Schefter. Defensive end Charles Omenihu is returning to Kansas City on a 1-year deal worth up to $7 million. This is something favorable, and they should have locked him up before. Anyhow, the Chiefs are bringing back a familiar face. Omenihu joins George Karlaftis, who's a stud, and Mike Dana, who's solid in spurts. Felix Anudike Uzoma's unproven, so Omenihu's veteran presence makes this D-line legit. But the question is his health. Coming off an ACL tear, he missed the first 11 games last year. In the games he played, he had 4 tackles, 1 sack, and 1 forced fumble. Not huge numbers, but he's a strip sack machine when healthy. A full, injury-free 2025? This deal's a steal. Now let me break down the contract. It's phrased as up to $7 million. So I'm betting it's light on base salary and guarantees, heavy on incentives. Omenihu wanted a multi-year deal. He aired some frustrations on Twitter earlier this offseason, but the market didn't bite. When that fizzled, he came back to KC, and it's good for the team. It's cheap. He knows Spag's system, and he's made clutch plays, like that strip sack on Lamar Jackson in the AFC Championship a couple years back. He's got unfinished business, too. On the Kay Adams show, he talked about his hunger to return after tearing up on the sideline during last year's AFC title win over the Bills, then getting crushed in the Super Bowl loss. This signing's a no-brainer, low risk, high reward. The Chiefs re-signed defensive tackle Marlon Tuipulotu, probably for 1 year. He's depth, knows the system, and joins Jerry Tillery up front. He barely played in 2024, but it's a low-risk move for a thin group. They'll still draft more D-line help. Now shift focus to the offensive coordinator Matt Nagy. Is he still a good offensive coordinator? Over the past couple seasons, the Chiefs have been stuck in the middle of the NFL pack offensively. Crazy, right? With Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Andy Reid, you'd expect a perennial top 5 unit. But the last 2 years? Nope. Naturally, fingers point to Matt Nagy, and I'm here to figure out if that's fair. Rewind to the Eric Bieniemy era starting in 2018. Those offenses were unreal. Number 1 in points in 2018, 5th in 2019, 6th in 2020, 4th in 2021, and back to number 1 in 2022. That 2022 season stands out. Mahomes threw 41 touchdowns with a 105.2 rating. Despite losing Tyreek Hill, with Kelce, Juju Smith-Schuster, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and rookie Isaiah Pacheco at 4.9 yards per carry. Bieniemy had prime Kelce and Hill early on, plus Mahomes on a rookie deal. Any coordinator could have thrived with that. But 2022 without Hill showed Bieniemy's chops. Compare that to Nagy's 2023, Kelce, Rashee Rice, Justin Watson, Pacheco at 4.6 yards per carry. Similar talent, yet they dropped to 15th in scoring. In 2024, with Kareem Hunt at 3.6 yards per carry, Xavier Worthy learning the ropes, and more injuries, they're still mid-tier. Kelce's declined, sure, but Nagy's not squeezing top 10 juice out of this group. Mahomes' 2023 stats, 27 touchdowns, 14 picks, a career-low 92.6 rating? Something's off. So do I give Nagy a pass? For 2023, no, those rosters were too close to 2022's for that drop-off. But 2024? Yeah, I'll cut him some slack. Injuries crushed them. Rice, poised for a breakout, went down in week 4. Pacheco got hurt early. Worthy was a rookie finding his feet. Hunt's past his prime. The run game tanked. Pacheco at 3.7 yards per carry, Hunt at 3.6. Way below Bieniemy's 4.5-ish average. Still, Nagy's got a lifeline. In 2017, with Alex Smith, he led a 6th-ranked scoring offense. That hints he can scheme when the pieces fit. Back then, Kelce was peak, Hill was emerging. If 2025 isn't a disaster injury-wise and they're still average, though, I say move on. Andy Reid's loyal, but 3 years of May with Mahomes? Time's up. And now let's talk money. Because the Bengals just made waves with Jamar Chase and Tia Higgins, setting records at over $40 million and $28 million a year, respectively. It got me thinking about the Chiefs' receiver room, and the numbers are wild. Adding up every wide receiver cap hit for 2025, and guys who might not make the roster, it's about $17.5 million. Toss in a generous $2.5 million for Juju Smith-Schuster, and you're at $20 million total. That's peanuts thanks to rookie deals for Sky Moore, Xavier Worthy, and Rashee Rice, 2 of whom are already big contributors. Hollywood Brown's got the biggest hit at $6.6 million, but his one-year deal could climb to $11 million with incentives, some of which might spill into 2026's cap. Even if he hits them all, the receiver room stays under $25 million. Compare that to the tight ends. $27.64 million, with Kelce alone at $19.8 million, and Noah Gray at nearly $5 million after his extension. The Chiefs might not restructure Kelce's deal to avoid future dead money, especially since they just freed up $50 million by tweaking Mahomes and Jones' contracts. A long-term deal for Trey Smith could drop his $23.4 million hit to under $10 million, giving them plenty of room to operate. If this holds, the Chiefs could be the only team in the NFL where tight ends cost more than receivers. A crazy stat that hints at a post-Kelce pivot. Speaking of Kelce, what happens when he's gone? He's been a top pass catcher for years, but if 2025 is his last ride, the Chiefs might bulk up at receiver. We saw a glimpse of that early in 2024. Before Rashee Rice's injury, he was averaging 7 catches and 100 yards a game, while Kelce hovered at 3 for 20. Once Rice went down, Kelce took off again. Replacing him with one guy's a pipe dream. Noah Gray and Jared Wiley might step up, but the real answer could be multiple playmakers, especially a first-round receiver. Picture this. The Chiefs' top offensive tackles and defensive tackles like Walter Nolan are gone by pick 31. If Nolan's there and they pass, I'll be crushed. He'd be a monster next to Chris Jones. But the DT class is deep, so they might gamble on a later pick and grab a receiver instead. Luther Burden III from Missouri could slip due to a down 2024 to 676 yards after 1,200 in 2023. But his 86% catch rate and versatility scream? Andy Reid. Emeka Egbuka from Ohio State's a smooth slot guy with a high floor, perfect for the middle of the field. Matthew Golden from Texas, a 5'11 speedster with a 4.29 40, might be gone early, but Reid loves those undersized deep threats. Or they could trade up for Michigan tight end Colston Loveland, a jumbo wide receiver with 100 catch potential. Still, most analysts bet on an offensive lineman. Jalen Moore's on a 2-year deal. Jawan Taylor's movable after 2025. And Joe Thuney's a bear now. Josh Simmons could be the left tackle of the future if his medical's clear. Kelvin Banks Jr. might slide to 31 and play tackle or guard, while Josh Connerly Jr. is a developmental pass protector who could grow into a starter. So, what do you think? Drop your take on the D-line, your dream first-round receiver, or which lineman, Simmons, Banks, or Connerly, you'd pick if the Chiefs go that route.